Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Lake Superior Interfaith Community Church. To start off our service today, I'd like to have Robert Dubiel come and give us an invocation.
So invocation means to call in. So I'd like to call in our spirit guides, because that's what I'm talking about today. So let's take some deep breaths. We acknowledge that we are connected to Source at all times. We acknowledge the messengers of God, that they are available to us in every moment. Amen.
Beautiful. Thank you. All right. Well, let us read our statement of intent, or let me. We are fortunate to have a variety of speakers for Sunday services. By using guest speakers, we gain wisdom from all those who share. This is a church where we can worship the God of our own understanding, a place to experience joy and be uplifted, a place where we can gain strength and inspiration to share with all we meet throughout the week. We invite you to join us in this celebration of life, to nourish your spirit, and to enjoy the company of kindred souls. And with kindred souls in mind, let us give each other warm welcomes. Hi, hello, a hug, how are you? A handshake, an elbow, a fist bump, or whatever. If you don't feel like hugging or whatever, you can stay seated today. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. For all of those who know, it's on the white, or don't know, it's on the white card in the pew, and let there be peace on earth. All right, don't sit down yet. We're going to have another hymn. What are we singing now, Carol? 66 in Wings of Song. it's that wonderful time again for announcements. All right. Yay. All right. As always, please put your phones on mute or on do not disturb so we can record this beautifully and not have any interruptions. Don't forget about our suggestion box at the back of the church. We have a couple of things that we need for your suggestions. And Jasmine's going to address that a little bit in a second. And next week, of course, is our Unity Week. So be prepared for a Unity service. No, next week is not our Unity Week. That's right. We're having our picnic and we're showing the movie Thrive. Thrive 2, right? Thrive 2. And thank you to Denise and Steve Plaza for having, if you notice, this particular window over here has a shade that's partially pulled down. We have shades for all of our windows here. Thanks to the board, Denise Jackson and Steve Plaza for putting it all together and getting the shades ready to go. Yay! Thank you. So it will be nice and dark in here so that we can actually see the movie without putting bed sheets over the windows like we used to. All right. So check out our website, Facebook, or newsletter if you need to get more information about the church. And if you missed or would like to rewatch a service, you can do so on YouTube. Don't forget the Unity Book Club is now meeting on Tuesday evenings. If you want to get involved with the Unity Book Club, you don't have to be at the beginning of the book. You can jump in at any time because it's always full of great nuggets of wisdom. Tuesday nights, Denise, you can get a hold of Denise if you want to get involved, or anybody else who's on, Carol, Carrie, Carolyn Brooks.
Well, the book is Laws of Spirit, and so if anybody is interested, I have a couple copies.
Oh,
if you
cool.
wanna get one.
The Laws of Spirit. Who wrote that one?
Dan Millman.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm going to have Jasmine come up and work on some of the announcements here because we talked about a bunch of stuff at the board meeting today.
And I should know better than to assume that I can read my own scribbles, so we'll see how far we get here. Just a reminder that we are always looking for new and interesting speakers, and it helps Carol or whichever president is in place at the time to get some input. So if you would like to speak, or if you would like to suggest someone, please let Carol or another board member know. Speaking of the movie next week, two things I want to reference there. As Sue mentioned, the last Sunday of the month would normally be when we would stream a Unity service from the church. In other words, that would be a Unity video that we were watching, and we were also Zooming, sending it out at the same time. We are no longer going to be, how do I want to put this, live Zooming that service the last Sunday of the month. So in other words, the services will be only here in the church from now on. They will still be recorded and you can watch them on YouTube at any time. The reason we're doing that is on the Sundays when we have been Zooming out the recorded Unity service, our attendance is down by about half. And we would really like to see everyone here if possible to help maintain the feeling of community. So just so you know, from this point forward, you'll either need to be here or be square with YouTube. So speaking of the movie next week, the idea was floated a couple of weeks ago about ordering lunch for next Sunday because it's also technically our annual picnic. The suggestion was that if you wanted to order a sandwich from Northern Waters Smokehouse, that you go to the website, choose what you wanted, and bring your money today. Carolyn Sheets, who is here, will be collecting those orders and money downstairs after the service. If you didn't,
All right. And throughout the service and throughout the day, if you have any intentions you'd like to add to the bowl, you may do so either mentally or physically. And we will pray over those throughout the service and throughout the week. And don't forget Today is obviously our potluck day, so we have a little more than usual, but we always have coffee and snacks after service. So please come down and enjoy our coffee and snacks. And at this point, I think it's time to be done with announcements. It's time for principles, which we're going to read from the Unity Basics. Okay. It's on the little white piece of paper as opposed to the white card. So, number 1, God is the source and creator of all. There is no enduring power. God is good and present everywhere. We are spiritual beings created in God's image. The Spirit of God lives within each person. Therefore, all people are inherently good. We create our life experiences through our way of thinking. There is power in affirmative prayer, which we believe increases our awareness of God. Knowledge of these spiritual principles is not enough. We must live them. So at this time, I'm going to have Carol play In the Silence. And after that, Robert's going to do a small meditation. And then he will give us his presentation and he will go from there. So, number 74, right? Right. In the Silence.
The vehicle for meditation is the breath. So let's breathe deeply and consciously, slowly from the abdomen. With every breath, we breathe in the presence of God as we understand God. Thank you, Mother, Father, God, for bringing us all together. As we come together, we open our hearts in gratitude for the space, for opportunity for friendship, and our connection to Spirit. And with this, we say thank you. Breathe in gratitude. Exhale gratitude throughout the church. Breathe in gratitude. Exhale gratitude throughout the community. Breathe in gratitude. Exhale gratitude throughout the nation. Breathe in gratitude. Exhale gratitude throughout the planet. Breathe in gratitude. Exhale gratitude throughout the universe. And so it is. I was very glad this invocation was on a little white sheet right in front of me. I didn't expect that. I always choose an angel card before I do anything. Definitely in the morning when I get up. So I chose one for the service and it's gratitude. So I thought, perfect. So I made use of the resource that was available. And Spirit is always available for us. The sacred text, I'm following the order of service, literally. The sacred text that I would like to use is from A Course in Miracles. It's one of the affirmations. God's voice speaks to me all through the day. That's the text. And I'll give a little talk about this and then a longer meditation so that we can call in our guides and experience them. So at the same time, I'd like to begin with a statement that may not make sense in the context of guidance initially, but it's an important belief. It's an important concept to start with. And that concept is, I am whole and complete right now in this moment. I am whole and complete right now in this moment. Let's all say it together. I am whole and complete right now in this moment. So the idea, there is guidance and we are whole and complete right now in this moment. So both are true. It's the paradox of the physical plane. As a friend of mine, a wise friend of mine once said, there's free will and everything is going according to plan. And both are true. So wrap your head around that one. And it keeps us with beginner's mind, you know, because I do not understand the workings of the universe. What I do understand, or I'm learning from, is my own experience. And I'm grateful, I feel emotional about this, that I've had these experiences from guidance since I was a little kid. You know, when I was 4, I became telepathic. I said to my mother one day, why do grown-ups lie all the time? And she was kind of shocked by that. What do you mean by that? Because I hear what they're thinking and it's not what they're saying. So my parents gave me space to have these experiences. You know, it was before the age of tranquilizers and psychiatrists for children, thank goodness. It was the 50s. So I just had these experiences. She did let me know, though, that it was not socially appropriate to listen in. You know? So I did kind of quell it. I kind of curbed it. When I was 8, I chose to become Catholic at age 7. My father was Catholic, my mother Baptist. So that was good for me because I never believed that anybody is going to hell because of their religion, you know, because each one thought the other was. I thought they can't both be right. So I kind of like stepped away from that judgment around religion. And guardian angels, that was a concept that I learned about in Catholic school. And so practically I would use guidance Saturday mornings so I could wake up without an alarm clock to watch my favorite cartoons. I would ask my guardian angels to do that, they would. So I believed in them. When I was 8, I kind of unfolded this and started playing, usually school, I think. I'd play school with my spirit guides when I got home from school. So I enjoyed school at the time, so I guess I wanted more of it. Usually I was the teacher, of course. They were the students. But this was quite real for me. I was speaking out loud. I went into an altered state, what I would call trance now. And one day they were asking me these deep philosophical questions. I said, how come you guys ask such hard questions? I'm only 8. They said, because when you grow up, you're going to have to answer them. I said, let's play something else, you know. But, you know, they were prepping me for my life purpose. I am a speaker. There are millions of speakers. I'm not the only one. But my dharma, part of my life purpose, is to speak truth, to channel truth, which is, you know, a lifelong journey for me, as well as my work in the world. So I kind of got out of touch with my guides as I grew up, wanting to be normal, and had a near-death experience during surgery at age 23, and that propelled me onto the spiritual path. So about 6 months later, there was a group called the Inner Peace Movement, and part of their purpose was to put people in touch with their spirit guides, but physically. In other words, I feel the presence of my spirit guides kinesthetically in my body. They assigned me at that time 5 spirit guides. It was really a form of self-hypnosis. So I was reprogrammed because I never felt this stuff before physically. I mean, natural intuitive. So yeah, I could go out of my body, and I actually had done channeling very spontaneously before then, but it was not something I learned. It's just a natural gift that I've developed. But the kinesthetic, the tactile, no, that was very foreign to me. I was not in my body very much, as little as possible, especially in the late 60s. I will not elaborate on that. But I think you know what I mean, you know? So they assigned spirit guides for different parts of the body. I promptly started feeling the tingling, the sensation, the goosebumps, the chicken skin, as we say in Hawaii, where I live now. Yeah, I felt the presence of spirit. Eventually, I wrote the book Body Signals. I have copies downstairs. Because we can all reprogram ourselves to be open. It's all about the openness. It's the belief, yes, but it's also taking a deep breath, opening your aura so that you can include spirit in your aura. Spirit is not some thing, you know, in the upper astral plane. Of course, we can go there in meditation, but we can also draw them here. There are spirit guides and they want to help us in this dimension. That's my understanding. I like it being Capricorn rising. I always like a bargain, you know. So I like when they say, go to this particular store on a particular day and there's a sale going on. So I always like that. This is practical guidance. It's like the parking space guide, you know, same thing, along the same lines. And I had concepts, you know, that certain things were spiritual, some things were not. And I've kind of gotten over that gradually. Everything is spiritual. Getting a parking spot is spiritual. Getting a bargain on something you want is spiritual. I lived a lot in Thailand for some years before COVID. And there I took refuge in Buddha, which is non-exclusive. You know, you can practice other religions, other forms of spirituality. 25 years ago, I took refuge in Buddha. When I was in Thailand, I would go to various shrines and temples, and I would make offerings to the spirits of the place. Like a shrine, they would have spirit houses for the spirits of the place. That's one reason I like Thailand very much, is they honor the spirits of the place. Every place has its own spirit. So it would be good to honor the spirit in this place as well. maybe even a little altar to do that. And I found out the local tradition is that the spirits of the place like sweet things, so their favorite drink is red Fanta. So I'm first going, this is not spiritual. I can't buy red Fanta and make this as an offering in the spirit house. I did. I've gotten used to this, the little sweets that Thais like. And hey, if they like it, I know it's not going to go to waste, because my favorite shrine, there was a homeless person there who was kind of caretaking it. And I'm sure he enjoyed all my offerings and the coconuts that other people left. And so this stuff does not go to waste. But it's the thought that counts. And it's, in a way, how to put this, different levels of consciousness, different levels of spirit. So the place spirits, that's on this dimension, the mundane dimension. Personal spirit guides, they are messengers of God from the light. And my belief is they are in between incarnations, or they have, quote, graduated the physical plane. Now I have the sign, the body signal, that I'm channeling deeper because I get the paralysis, usually in my left hand when I'm talking, channeling deeper. During a talk or a reading, I do. I cannot control that. So it's a validation that I'm actually channeling. So I trust that. So that level. Then the archangel level, the guides that are available to all of us, like Michael, Raphael, I work with them, or the Blessed Mother, Jesus Christ, the Ascended Masters, Buddha, Krishna, Govinda, Lao Tzu. So different levels of consciousness. Some people prefer just to talk to God directly or source, but maybe because of my Catholic background, I find that too remote. I mean, I invoke source, I invoke divine love, and I like personal. I like personal relationships with my spirit guides because I was introduced to them formally, I guess when I was 7, and then again when I was 24, when I got on the metaphysical path. And at that time, I did not believe in God. I was a recovering Catholic seminarian and kind of became an agnostic. And so I would say the spiritual cleansing technique I learned was in the name of, I would say, my guides, I cleanse my body. In the name of my guides, I cleanse my soul. You're supposed to do it with 2 hands, but I can only move my right hand right now. So, and that's a useful technique to center yourself, let go of energy that is not appropriate in that moment from 5 minutes ago or earlier in the day. In the name of, I don't say my guides anymore, because after a year of doing this, they said, stop putting us on a pedestal. We're no better than you. We just don't have bodies, so we have a different perspective. So they wanted me to have a sense of equality with them. That is the secret of a relationship, is equality, not hierarchy. So I treat them as friends. And, every ascended master really has that attitude too. I remember doing a weekend workshop, and part of it was meet your personal spiritual guide. This was some years later. And Jesus came in, and he was very stern and forbidding. I said to my spirit guide who was with me, this is the God of love. And my spirit guide said, he will be whatever you conceive him to be. That was a big breakthrough for me that day, because I, grew up with Baptist judgment and Catholic guilt, right? So it's like imploding on both ends. So I thought, oh, he's the God of love. He has been the God of love for me ever since that moment. I was 31, so that was like 10 years ago, some time ago when this happened. So it's about, channeling divine love, and it comes through each one of us. And I know that in this church, this is emphasized. I can feel it, that we are all, I'm getting chills, I'm getting covered with chills as I'm saying this. We are all messengers of God. So we recognize that in each other. That is a healing when that happens. It's a healing for us, and it's a healing for the person that we acknowledge. So it's a win-win. So yes, guidance comes from our spirit guides. Guidance also comes daily from the person in the supermarket. I remember meeting a homeless person. I was buying a newspaper. I'm from Chicago originally. So I was buying a Streetwise newspaper. He said, "God bless you." And he zapped me in my third eye with white light. I was like covered with chills and total state of ecstasy and bliss. And I said, "God bless you too." And we were like having this energy exchange, third eye to third eye. I thought, this guy is doing his spiritual work. That got a lot of judgment about homelessness through that experience, because we don't know what that person's karma is, yes, but also their dharma, their life purpose. He was totally doing his life purpose. That was, I think, a good experience for him too, because he knew that I knew what he was doing. So there was a mutual acknowledgement. That was the highlight of that day. That was a unexpected pleasure. We never know. We never know when and how God's voice is going to speak to us. And of course, it doesn't always come through words or the sound, the clairaudience. It can come from clairvoyance. I was in yoga class in 1980. I was, getting fit and cleansing, purifying. And during Savasana, the corpse pose at the end of class, I saw Buddha. I had my eyes closed. I saw Buddha, he's smiling. I did not have a personal relationship to Buddha at that point. I opened my eyes, he's still there, he's smiling in the room. I said to my teacher, "Is this normal?" During Savasana, she said, "You have been blessed with a great gift." I thought, I didn't ask for this. That's the story of my life usually. I don't ask for these things. And I am grateful that they come in. And I'm open. That's why they come in, because I'm open. So all you have to do every morning when you get up is say, "I'm open. I'm open for divine guidance today. I'm open for my spirit guides to touch me today in whatever form is appropriate, whatever you guys think would be good for me." So it could be clairvoyant, could be clairaudient, could be the tactile that I get, could be when they come in and you speak and you don't know why you said that. I don't know why I'm saying this. I feel guided to say this to you. I don't know why. Often that is guidance speaking to us. So that's the intuitive, which is trance. So it happens in all four ways. The intuitive, the visual, the auditory, the tactile. We are surrounded by all these opportunities to channel light. So the idea, when I came back to Hawaii from Thailand at the beginning of COVID, it was suggested to me that I use the affirmation, "I choose divinity. I choose divinity." That's what my guides suggested to me. So I choose divinity. That means I choose to be a channel of light. That doesn't mean I'm any better than anybody else. It just means I'm channeling the light. That's my idea of divinity. I could keep talking, but I think it's wise to launch into our meditation now, which is my real purpose for being here, to give us all an opportunity to experience divine love personally. So you don't have to follow my suggestions, but I'm going to make them anyway, you know. And that is, we all have personal spirit guides. So I would ask you or invite you to call them in personally, at least one. Everyone in this room has at least 4 guides minimum. It's not like I have more guides than you. It's not like that. It's like, if you have to deal with people, you have more guides. So the more types of people you deal with, the more aspects, facets of your life purpose, the more guides you have. Einstein supposedly had 2, one for physics and one for music, because he really was not about dealing with people, you know. But invite at least one spirit guide in during the meditation. And we will do some chanting. We're going to chant the sound bu, like French or German, u sound. That opens the crown chakra. We're going to chant that 7 times and just to invoke whatever, your spirit guide, Jesus Christ, the Blessed Mother, the Goddess, whatever aspect of divinity you wish to bring in to your aura. So this is an individual experience here today. Yes, there is also group mind, but today we're really doing this as individuals. So we get a personal relationship with your own guidance. And if you do feel a group guide for the congregation, that's fine too. But I would emphasize the individual nature of guidance today. Let's do a couple, 2, 3 deep breaths, slow and deep. You can chant your own note. We can have harmony. We can even have dissonance. It's all good. You don't have to chant my note. Be. 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 Last time. Be. Continue to breathe slowly and deeply. With every in-breath, inhale your spirit guide. Invite him or her to come into your aura in whatever form, whatever way they choose. As light, as a light being, human, as pure energy, however they choose to manifest to you at this time. With every breath, we keep breathing them in. As we exhale, we send this energy throughout the body, especially in the place where it's most needed. And you don't have to figure out what that is. Just send the energy of divine love to the place in your body that needs it the most. This may be a spontaneous thing, or it could be a conscious intention. Keep breathing deeply. We're making space for guidance. We know we're using only a small part of our human potential. So now we're expanding that to include guidance from other dimensions. This is part of our birthright, part of who we really are as humans. Yes, even the idea of power animals, same thing. It connects us with interdimensional truth. Sometimes our guides will appear to us as animals or plants. Everything has consciousness, rocks. Everything has awareness. Everything is part of God. There's nothing that is outside of God. Keep breathing deeply. Now ask your guide to show you a situation in your life which could use more light, a situation where you could send more light into the situation. Ask your guide to direct you with this. You are sending divine light, divine love into that situation, which is part of your life. This is healing energy. You're a channel for healing. If you feel you need help, then ask your guide to channel the divine love, the divine light, himself, herself, directly. But use the breath, send the energy yourself to that situation that needs healing in your life, to come back into balance, come back into harmony. See the situation, visualize it as being full of light. See the situation as being open to divine love. Now with the breath, come back into your body in the here and now, in this church. Just breathe again, bringing the light, the love into your body, expanding it into your aura, making your aura brighter as a conduit for divine love. Now ask your guide this question, if you wish. How can I be aware of you on a daily basis? Give me a suggestion how I can be aware of you throughout my day. And I stop, take a deep breath, that I can open to the presence of guidance. What would be a way, figuratively perhaps, to tap me on the shoulder? Let me know that you're there. And just commune with your guidance on this. Again, the impression could come visually, through words, through feelings, or knowing. When you feel that you've gotten that suggestion clearly, then you can come back to the here and now by squeezing your thumbs in the palms of your hands. When you're in an altered state, this always brings you back to the here and now in this dimension physically. I'm going to repeat the sacred text. Thank you, Mother, Father, God, for bringing us all together. As we come together, we open our hearts in gratitude for the space, for opportunity for friendship, and for our connection to Spirit. And with this, we say thank you. Let's just do a 1, 2, 3, thank you together. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Namaste. And so it is.
Oh my gosh. I don't think so. I don't think I'm back yet. Oh, yeah. What do I do now? Okay, all right. I got the card right here. Okay. So now it's time for somebody to, a couple people maybe to bring forth the baskets for our offering. Are you going to play us a little song? Okay. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you guys. All right. And we have another hymn now? We do. All right. 309. 309. Rings us up.
309, huh?
I'm having trouble singing today, so we'll see if I can do this. affirmation on the white card. Yes, our church affirmation. We totally accept the belief that God is in charge of the affairs and direction of Lake Superior Interfaith Community Church. We know that as our thoughts of trust and joyful anticipation join in harmony with the thoughts of all the members of this fellowship, we attract the right ministerial leadership to our spiritual community, and we are grateful. All right, let's do the benediction, the unity one. Give me a start here, somebody. The light of God, that's what I'm saying. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. So let's make our circle and sing our final song. You need to know the words. All right.
God be with you till we meet again. By his counsel, God uphold you. On his love securely fold you. God be with you till we meet again. God be with you till we meet again. Neath his wings protecting high you. Daily manna still provide you. God be with you till we meet again. Yay!
Woo. Oh, that makes